king.
Who is the new monarch? What is his past, and how popular is the monarchy under King Charles? Let's break it down. Charles was born on the 14th of November 1948 at Buckingham Palace. The firstborn son of Elizabeth and Philip, he received a 41-gun salute in Hyde Park. He was just 4 years old when his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was crowned as queen. And it was in 1969 that he was first exposed to the royal roles he would eventually discharge as Britain's king. That year, at the age of 20, he was invested by the Queen as Prince of Wales at Carnarvon Castle. He served in the British Royal Air Force and Royal Navy, while also enjoying a comfortable life marked with playing polo and doing charity work. With his marriage to Lady Diana Spencer, more popularly known as Lady Diana, started a very controversial chapter of his life.
To her, so long as you both shall live.
I will.
In 1981, at the age of 32, he tied the knot with the 20-year-old Diana Spencer, a schoolteacher in London. They had first met in 1977, when Charles was reportedly courting Diana's sister, Sarah Spencer. Charles eventually parted ways with Sarah and went on to marry Diana. Their larger-than-life wedding took place at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, an event that was seen by a global television audience of about 750 million across 74 countries. In Britain, even a public holiday was declared to mark the cheerful occasion. A year later, they welcomed their newborn son, William. And 3 years later, in 1984, they were blessed with another son, Harry. He set a precedent by being the first royal father to be present at his children's births. But familial bliss soon faded away, and their marriage began faltering. Prince Charles was allegedly involved in an affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. He had met Camilla about a decade before getting married to Diana, but the two had to part ways and their romance ended. Princess Diana was aware of this affair, even famously hinting at it in a 1995 interview, saying, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded."
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The cracks in their marriage started becoming more evident in their glum public appearances. A month later, the shocking news of their separation was announced to the British Parliament. But matters only got worse from there. In 1993, Camillagate happened. The transcript of a 1989 telephonic conversation between Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles was published by the UK paper The People. The 6-minute intimate conversation sent shockwaves throughout the royal family. It exposed the relationship between the two while Prince Charles was still married to Lady Diana. Prince Charles faced even more turbulent waters the following year. In 1994, his infamous interview with John Dimbleby came out, in which he publicly confessed to having cheated on Diana.
Did you try to be faithful and honourable to your wife when you took
on the vow of marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
And you were?
Yes. Until it became irretrievably broken down.
The pair ultimately divorced in 1996, but Diana's popularity continued to remain unaffected.
I think it was inevitable that when Charles became king that a lot of the personal stuff would come back to haunt him. We know a huge amount about him of a very personal nature, stuff that he in no way would want us to know. And, you know, I'm talking specifically about TV interviews in the 1990s and a series of recorded telephone conversations that were leaked to newspapers of a most personal nature.
But what happened next shook the entire world. A year after their divorce, on the 31st of August 1997, Lady Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. Her death had a moving impact on the people world over, who struggled to come to terms with what felt like a personal loss to them. Lady Diana had indeed left the world as the queen of people's hearts. In 2005, 8 years after the death of Diana, Prince Charles finally tied the knot with Camilla Parker Bowles, who had been long blamed for his failed marriage with Diana. Interestingly, Camilla decided not to use the Princess of Wales title, which had been used by Diana. Instead, she chose the Duchess of Cornwall, styling herself on her husband's other title, the Duke of Cornwall. And in 2022, this happened. In a message marking the 70th anniversary of her reign, the Queen said she wants Camilla to be known as Queen Consort when Prince Charles becomes king.
God save the king!